Hello everyone, welcome to English Now. We are talking about articles. Yes, our chapter is today article. This chapter is going to be useful for exam aspirants and spoken English learners. So let's talk about the chapter. A boy walked into a room and saw a man sitting there. Suddenly, the man stood up and smiled. Now, this is a sentence, and I'm asking you, did you notice here how A became the means a man, which is in the above sentence, became the man later? How did it happen? So that's exactly what we will understand in the chapter of article, how A becomes the and how A and the are used with different nouns. So let's talk about that. So the words a or an and the are called articles. What articles are? They are a and the. They come before nouns. There are two articles, a or an and the. So there are two articles. A or an is called the indefinite articles. They are indefinite. There's no clarity about them, like the, because it usually leaves indefinite person or thing spoken of. So it talks about an indefinite person or thing. For example, a doctor. When we talk about a doctor, means it can be any doctor, not a particular or specific doctor. A doctor means any doctor, any random doctor. So that is a or an indefinite article. Now let's talk about the. What kind of article the is? The is definite article. Why? Because it normally points out some particular person or thing. So it talk about a specific person or thing. So this is why the is called definite article. For example, he saw the doctor. Now the doctor we have used in sentence means some particular doctor. The indefinite article is used before singular countable nouns. For example, a book, an orange, a girl. So a article a or an has been used before singular countable nouns. Book, orange and girl are singular countable nouns. The definite article is used before singular countable nouns, plural countable nouns and uncountable nouns. So definite articles means the is used before any of these. For example, the book, the books and the milk. Now book is singular countable noun, books is plural countable nouns and milk is uncountable nouns. The has been used with all of these, as you can see here. And now we are going to talk about a or an. The choice between a and an is determined by sound. If we have to select which article we have to use, a or an with a word, so we have to first determine the sound. Before a word beginning with a sound of vowel, an is used. For example, an enemy, an inkpad, an orange. You can see that in these words, enemy, inkpad, orange, or even an umbrella, an hour, an honest man, an air, all of these words start with a vowel sound. That's why we have used an with them and not a, because they start with a vowel sound. Umbrella starts with a sound. An hour, an honest man, an air, they start with vowel sound, so we have used an with them. Here we have to notice that the words are, honest, air begin with a vowel sound, as the initial consonant h is not pronounced. Yes, even if they have h, which is a consonant in the start, still they start with a vowel sound. Honest, are, air. Before a word beginning with a consonant sound, a is used. So when a word starts with a consonant sound, a is used. For example, a boy, a reindeer, a woman. These words start with a consonant sound. Boy, b, reindeer, r, woman, v. These are their sounds, so we use a with them. A yard, a horse, a hole, a university, a union, a European, a unicorn, a useful articles are also these examples. Because these words, university, union, etc., these begin with the consonant sound and that of year, European, union, unicorn. So they start with a consonant sound, U. This is why with them A is used. Similarly, a 1 rupee note, such a one note, a one-eyed man, we use article A with them because 1 begins with the consonant sound of W. Some native speakers use an before words beginning with H if the first syllable is not stressed. For example, an hotel, which is not more common here in India, we call a hotel, but you may listen to native speakers speaking like an historical novel because the first syllable is not stressed and not pressurized, as we talked about an hotel. But more common in India is a hotel, a historical novel. That is perfectly okay. This I'm mentioning so that if you're listening to a native speaker speaking, you may be able to understand that this is common in those countries, in English speaking countries as well. So a hotel, a historical novel will also be perfectly fine if you're writing an exam here in India. Now let's talk about use of the definite article. When definite article, which is the, is used, the definite article the is used in 5 different conditions. We will talk about all of these conditions one by one. First is, the is used when we talk about a specific person or thing or something that has already been mentioned before. So specific person or thing, any particular person we are talking about or any particular thing we are talking about, article the we use with that. So let's talk about some examples. I saw a dog in the street. The dog was barking loudly. Now you can see a dog was used earlier, now became the dog. Here the dog means the same dog we already talked about in the first sentence, so we use the in the second one. It has become the dog now. So we are talking about that particular dog which we talked about earlier. Some more examples are, the book you want is out of print. The book. Which book? The one you want. Let's go to the park. The park. Which park? The park that's in this town, in the city. We are talking about that particular park. We have to go over there. Let's go to the park, that specific park. Article the is used in this condition as well when a singular noun is meant to represent a whole class. Now this is important. The whole class is represented by singular noun. So let's talk about example. The cow is a useful animal. Now cow is a singular noun and here the article has been used with cow. The cow, it has become. Now the cow is representing all the cows of the world. It's talking about all the cows. So this singular noun cow is representing the whole class, all the cows. That's why we have used the with this. Singular noun which is representing a whole class, we use the with this. This we may also say cows are useful animals. Some more examples we've had is, the horse is a noble animal. The horse means all the horses, not 1 or 2, but all the horses. Similarly, the cat loves comfort means all the cats of the world love comfort. The rose is the sweetest of all flowers. Now the rose means all the roses. The two nouns man and woman can be used in a general sense without either articles. So if we're talking about man and woman, we are free not to use any article. For example, man is the only animal that uses fire, or woman is man's companion. We haven't used any kind of article with either of these words, man or woman. But remember, in present day English, a man and a woman are more usual, more common. They're more commonly used. So we talk about a man is going, or in the plural sense, men and women we use. Now, definite article the is used in some more condition before some proper names. So if we are using any proper name, then with that also we use the. For example, if we're talking about names like oceans and seas, for example, the Pacific, the Black Sea, then with these names which are proper, we use the before them. If we're talking about rivers, for example, the Ganga, the Nile, talking about canals, the Suez Canal, or if we're talking about desert, the Sahara, or talking about groups of islands, for example, the West Indies, talking about mountain ranges, the Himalayas, the Alps, a very few names of countries which include words like republic and kingdom. So any country which uses the word like republic or kingdom, we use the with them as well. For example, the Irish Republic. Now word Irish, which is the name of the country, uses republic with it. That's why we have used the with this, which this way it has become the Irish Republic. The United Kingdom, here also kingdom has been used with the United. So before United we have used the, and it has become the United Kingdom. Also the Ukraine, the Netherlands, and its seat of government, the Hague, we have used the with them. Now definite article the is used in this condition as well, before the names of certain books. If we're talking about some certain books, then before them as well we use article the. For example, the Veds, the Purans, the Ramayana. So we use with these kind of books, before them we use the. But we can also say Valmiki's Ramayana. Yes, Valmiki's Ramayana. Why? Because these books are specific and not general. Now the definite article the is used in this condition as well, before names of things unique of their kinds. Remember, unique of their kinds. And if you're going to write exam, this question, which is unique, can be asked. They're frequently asked questions. For example, the sun, the sky, they're all unique. The ocean, the sea, the earth, all are unique. So we have used the with this. You have to remember and note, sometimes the is placed before a common noun to give it the meaning of an abstract noun. So before common noun, we use the to give the meaning of abstract noun. For example, the child in him still loves playing in the rain. Now word child is a common noun. Before this we have used the to give the meaning of abstract noun. Now abstract means what? Which we can't touch or feel. We can only feel. So it means childlike, means innocence and childish behavior. So it's talking about that. Alright, that's all for today's video. We will meet with part 2 also with the same. Till then, take care and thank you for watching.